All right, gamers, welcome to One More Game podcast, episode 11. Today is 8 May 2022. I am your host, theStroke. I'm here with the incomparable Swiftmida. Buddy, how's it going, dude?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. How's your mother?
She's good actually. She just flew out this morning. She was here I guess my parents got here on Thursday. So they've been here this weekend hanging out, helping us around the house, which is always nice to have an extra two sets of hands to help do things. And they're back in Virginia at their house, safe and sound.
Nice. Yeah, moms have a way of doing things that around the house that you would just never dream of, like think of doing. Like
Oh yeah,
just
she
putting little
finds
knickknacks here or making something
yeah.
look better there. It's like nice.
Well, she finds projects every
Mm.
time. This time we actually had a list. Shannon and I had a list of things. Hey, yeah, Mom, we need help with this specifically.
Oh,
And
nice.
they nailed it.
Gainfully employed, earning her keep in the home like you didn't do when you were living with her. So
That's true. That's true.
nice. Cool. Well, happy Mother's Day, everyone. If you're a mother out there watching this oh so entertaining podcast about video games, thank you for joining us and thank you for what you've done in life. I just
Yeah.
got off Skype with my mom, so that was a good time with the kids. But
Nice.
yeah, so far we're not having any issues like we did last week, so knock on wood there. But welcome to the chat if you're here joining us live on Twitch, and we're happy to have you. If you're one of our loyalists, thank you for the continued support. And if you're brand new and just checking us out, go ahead and hit that follow button, that little heart. Really helps us out, and we're like 16 Twitch followers from being affiliate. So hook a brother up.
We're almost there.
Cool, dude. Because it's Mother's Day, let's see if you or the chat got any experience, any memories, fond memories of gaming and mothers. Like, what do you got any cool memories of trying to teach your mom how to play something or anything like that?
Yeah. I honestly don't. I was trying to think about this. Yeah. Beetleborg's in the chat. Happy haircut day, Taze. It does look a little. It looks a little crisp.
Gold medal. Thanks,
I
buddy.
love that.
Beetleborgs.
I was trying to think about something from when I was a kid playing. I honestly don't think my mother has ever played a video game in her life.
Oh, that's disappointing. All right, so
I don't know. I don't know where I got it from, but clearly not from her because we never played anything together.
Maybe she's just an untapped like god tier sniper, and she just never knew.
Just never knew it. I know.
Well, maybe that'll be episode 12 where we have our moms come on and try to play Fortnite.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I've got a couple that I remember. Wii Sports playing with my mom Julie was pretty entertaining. Watching her try to bowl and like trying to let her understand that it's not actual bowling, so you don't need to like throw the controller.
Throw the controller, yeah. Put the strap around your wrist, so just in case. Yeah.
And then I do remember we rented. It was like I think it was called Wave Race, but you basically rode jet skis. It was on N64, and I remember
that's one of my favorite N64 games of all time.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember renting that from the old Blockbuster and trying to play that with her, and she was like moving her hands as if she was literally on a jet ski, and I was like, "No, what? Stop!" Hey, dude.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very. Oh,
right,
Liam.
Love you,
What's
Bubba.
up, buddy?
You got to go out because you are not clothed. All right, I love you, but you can't be on the TV. Hold on. Love you. Give me a hug. Love you, dude. All right. Crazy kid. If you saw a more than you wanted to, a little kid, I very much apologize, but
we are gonna get banned on Twitch. That's a 3-day ban for sure.
Yeah, rip. All right. Well, we got that going. Yeah, welcome to the chat. You're going to jail. Sweet, dude. Anything else to say to your old mama?
No, happy obviously that all mothers exist because without them we wouldn't. So for anybody, uh, chat listener or whatever, if you're a mama, then thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it a lot. Love you, and yeah, keep on doing what you're doing because somebody's got to do it.
That's right.
All right, dude. Well, with that, let's get into the video game news for the week. All right, so kind of a slow week in gaming, but we'll bring up a couple things. So, Halo Infinite Season 2 released, and to say it was bumpy would be an understatement. So, not a lot going on great for this game if they can't even release their newest season without issues. But basically, 343 jumped out and apologized right away. What they said was, it definitely wasn't our goal to have a bumpy start. We are indeed taking your feedback at heart, especially regarding map jumps and speedrunning, and we are reviewing options and more news to come. There was like some issues with automatic weapons just like glitching and jamming. So like I don't kind of just sounds like some really good realism, but
yeah, right.
Definitely not intended. And I did see some crazy tweets of videos like showing people trying to play co-op and it just like freezing the game and sending them to the menu and all kinds of weirdness. So that sucks, dude.
Well, I know when they initially launched, there was all kinds of weirdness if you were playing cross-platform, which again, as a whole, overall, a few companies have figured it out. A few are still struggling with it, I feel like.
Right.
Because there were all kinds of stuff when Halo Infinite launched initially where we would be searching for a game and it would just glitch and nobody could do anything until everybody backed out of the lobby. You had to rejoin parties, all kinds of stuff. So sounds like they're still struggling a little bit with that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's disappointing to say the least, but I don't really think it was going to save them anyways. I think the game is dead, unfortunately. Yeah. All right, well, yeah, we've talked about it before, but I mean, the hits keep coming for Halo fans out there, and if you're still playing that game, good for you.
Thanks for struggling through it.
Yeah, thanks for your service to the UNSC.
Yeah, that's right.
Although if the co-op is actually working eventually, like I would like to at least try it with one of the bros and check it out. I actually haven't beat that game yet, but
I didn't actually even buy the game. I've just been playing the
multiplayer.
Multiplayer, yeah.
Yeah. It's the campaign is cool. I don't know. The story sucks.
Yeah, all right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's fun because they put that grappling hook in there, like on multiplayer. You have that just all the time in the story mode.
Oh, okay.
So there's the movement feels a lot better. It feels a lot more like Apex Legends, almost like with how mobile you are.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, next bit of news that we'll talk about is if you're a Fortnite fan, like my buddy Swift here, and now me. More to follow.
We got him.
More to follow on that one. But you can now play as the Scarlet Witch. So basically, they announced you can get the skin, and she'll have a back bling, I guess is the cool kid term for the stuff that you wear on your backpack. But yeah, so that'll be kind of cool. Let me see if I can get a little preview of what you're gonna get up here. So yeah, here's a skin, and I guess when you start doing damage to the to any other players, that red like Nexus power that she has will start flashing, and that should be kind of cool. But this game does such an awesome job, like throwing in the most up to date pop culture stuff into the game.
Yeah. I don't know how they do it. It's like you said, it's amazing the fact that they can take something from, and Scarlet Witch, yeah, like we've heard about her previously, obviously in the Marvel movies. It's been a little while, but just the things that they throw into the game, I don't know how they do it because like I don't know how they have the rights to
Yeah, I mean,
emotes when they play music or characters from the Marvel universe. Like it's in this season's Battle Pass. Doctor Strange is the like 100 tier, right?
yeah, it blows my mind.
Um,
Like,
so I don't know how they get the rights to it, but they've done an awesome job of combining all that stuff into the game.
yeah, they're making deals with everyone like way in advance, right? Like Doctor Strange comes out in the season before the movie even releases. It's like
Yeah,
how they roll, but I don't know. Hi
yeah.
Nana F16, welcome to the chat. All right, cool man. Are you a Scarlet Witch fan? Did you watch the what was it called? WandaVision?
I did watch WandaVision. Yeah, the first two episodes, I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
Uh, but it's a very large arc of a story. But I thought it was good. I love the Scarlet Witch. It helps that she's a very beautiful actress, and
Yeah, that's
uh,
not bad.
yeah. So, but happy to see her in game. Can't wait to play as her. Although I'm not spending my V-Bucks on that.
Oh yeah, save those V-Bucks for something really cool like a
Yeah,
sick dance move.
that's right.
Cool. All right, man. Moving on to something a little more serious. So Blizzard has hired this nice lady named Jessica Martinez. She's the first vice president of culture over there at Blizzard. So it's kind of crazy to me that they've never had someone in charge of like, yo, how is it to work here? But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Well,
she,
clearly they didn't.
right, yeah, so this is kind of a good step in the right direction. Probably a little bit of Microsoft's demands when they made that deal was to kind of clean up the situation over there. But she's not coming in without experience. She worked at the Walt Disney Company, chief of staff and key strategic advisor at the parks. So like
Oh,
she's
nice.
yeah, she's going to be a good fit, I think, for kind of making life over there a little better for workers.
That's good.
Yeah, what do you think? Like, are you just kind of like, are you kind of just waiting for these news articles to go away and like see that they're putting their money where their mouth is before you kind of care? Or
Yeah, I
we
mean,
talk?
I don't know. I think as far as I can tell, they're doing their uh, due due diligence, for lack of a better word, to hopefully get things in the right space. Because clearly, with all the articles and news coming out of that place for the past year, it hasn't been good over there. So at least it seems like they're making an effort. And I don't know that. I'm sure there are people who really care and have kind of boycotted in quotations some of the games, but it seems like they're trying to get back to a good place where people enjoy working there and they can make a solid product. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I hope she, hope she has a good impact and kind of clean some things up. But
Yeah,
really, at the end of the day, it's up to the individual workers not to be shitheads. So hopefully that kind of gets cleaned up. But we'll see.
yeah.
Cool. All right, man. Lastly, news wise, I don't know if you know anything about this, but the World Video Game Hall of Fame they come out every year with like the games that they think belong, and these are like heavy hitters. So like we're talking Grand Theft Auto, the original Legend of Zelda, Sonic the Hedgehog, the first game, Super Mario Brothers, the first game, Tetris, Halo. Like we ain't messing around. It's not just
Yeah,
like everyone gets an award. So the 2022 inductees. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I think you'll agree with both of these, but we'll see.
There's only two for this year.
Sorry, there's four.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Clear, like obvious.
Obvious. Yeah.
That's like if you
I
ask.
can't believe it's not already
Yeah,
in. I don't know what to be honest, literally you saying there was a video game Hall of Fame right now is the first time I've ever heard of it. So
Yeah, dude, you need to
maybe I'm not a good gamer.
You need to get cultured. You know what I mean?
Clearly.
Stop paying attention to football and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. These are the
Yeah,
things that
right.
matter.
That's right.
All right, next up, Miss Pac-Man. So I mean,
Okay.
big time. I don't know if Pac-Man is on there, but I don't think there'd be a Miss Pac-Man without Pac-Man. But
Right.
all right, DDR, Dance Dance Revolution.
No kidding.
Yeah. How's your fancy footwork on DDR?
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
We
I'm
got a
too
buddy
lanky for that.
I don't think he's in the chat. He's probably spending time with his wife and mother, but he told me that Buttered Toast, he used to be like almost a professional Dance Dance Revolution player.
Really?
Yeah, so I'd like to see him.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna take him to an old arcade and see how he does.
Yeah, when we come out in October and see you guys in Austin, you'll have to bring him down and we'll get him on the stage.
On the old pad. All right.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Civilization, Sid Meier's Civilization.
Okay.
So yeah, big time hitters. What do you think? Any qualms?
I mean, I don't know. I guess you could consider most things video games. I don't see Dance Dance Revolution really as a video game, but I know it's basically the same thing as Guitar Hero or that thing that you play on the Oculus where you're swiping lightsabers.
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber. So I guess those are games. Dance Dance Revolution never really registered in my book as a video game, but I mean, it clearly is if it's up for potential video game Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember going over to my buddy's house and he had on PlayStation, he had these little pads that you could buy.
The pads? Yeah.
And he wouldn't let you had to be wearing socks if you used it because he didn't want you to rip it with your sweaty feet. I'm like, dude, just get out of here.
So that's cool. Obviously Ocarina of Time is the one out of I played Civilization.
Yeah.
I forget what the third one was other than DDR and Ocarina of Time.
Miss Pac-Man.
Miss Pac-Man. As a kid in the arcade, I would spend time on Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, but not a ton. Ocarina of Time is the one that obviously stands out in my mind because I had spent so much time on that game. And then my sister wanted to play, and she would get scared in the temples, so I had to walk her through it or just play scary parts for her. I have so much history with that game.
Dude, the Shadow Temple is pretty scary.
Yeah.
Like looking back on it.
Well, to be fair, she was scared in like the first zone where you're learning how to fight, and there was a little spider, and she was like, "Ah!" So,
well, not all of us can play scary games.
That's right.
All right, cool. Well, that's basically all we got for you this week, news-wise. Which that's good. We'll get back, spend time with your families after we finish this episode. But thanks for joining us. All right. Let's move on to the games radar for the week. All right, first one on the docket is a little game it's already been out on a lot of other systems, but coming out on PS4, PS5 May 10th is a game called Unpacking. It's just a little puzzle game, right? And it's pixelated, kind of from an isometric view, kind of indie looking, but basically you're in a room and you have this little container and it has stuff in it and you're supposed to unpack it like real life and put it where it goes in your house. But through that, it kind of tells you a little story, I guess. So I hear. But yeah, it's got a lot of like gaming references and old school like 90s pop culture references. Kind of give you some nostalgia. Like look at this old computer in your little dorm room. So if you're into kind of a chill little puzzler, this might be the one for you. You played this yet?
No, that seems I've never heard of it or played it until now, but I kind of want it. It seems very therapeutic.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like,
I like to be organized, and you wouldn't know it walking into my house, but that it seems very cool to just be like, and this goes there. I mean, in that first picture you showed, there's the butcher block with the knives in it that's on one of the burners on the stove. Clearly, that doesn't belong there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it does seem very therapeutic as far as like, if you're into a little bit OCD like I am.
Yeah, I mean,
as far as where things go, it seems nice to just, no kidding, you get to organize and you don't have to do it in your house. You just play it on a video game.
right. Like there's a small part of me that, and I think everyone kind of likes unpacking. Like after you move, moving itself sucks, but like when you get to your new place and you're like, how am I going to set stuff up and where's it going to go? And now you get to do that with some random person stuff. That seems kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah,
well,
I like it.
If you want to check that out, it comes out on PS4, PS5, May 10th, and I believe it's already on Switch and PC, but don't quote me on that. All right, changing gears. The Evil Dead, the game. So if you're a big fan of those, the old movie or the recent one, a scary game coming out. Minions of Hell. It looks like a co-op kind of online experience, survival horror, zombie type situation. But yeah, that comes out for basically everything on May 13th. I think this was delayed already once. But overall looks kind of interesting. Might be kind of cool to like cooperatively survive a zombie onslaught with your homies. But you ever watch these movies back in the day, the Chainsaw Guy?
No, I don't. I know I've said this on the podcast before, but I'm not a fan of scary.
So this movie isn't actually scary. It was originally intended to be scary, but it's actually a comedy.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's actually at least the old one. I don't know about the new one, but I'm sure they went with the same vibe. But it's like an over the top horror comedy movie.
Okay.
Like if you've seen Cabin in the Woods, it has a very at least the end of Cabin in the Woods. But
got it.
Cool. Well, check it out if you're into comedic scariness. Comes out May 13th on all platforms. All right, dude. Anything else on the Swift radar? Life, gaming?
No.
Cool.
Not really. We finally graduated our most recent B course on Friday. Had a piano burn, which we talked about in the prior episodes, and this week we're flying CT. I'm actually flying tomorrow with Easy. Just us going out to do BFM with some new students in the back seat, teach them some stuff hopefully, and then they start flying the following Monday. So.
Cool. So for the listeners who aren't in the know in the fighter pilot world, what is BFM?
So what is it? Basic fighter maneuvers is what it stands for, but it's just it's when you talk to somebody or see it in a movie, it's what you think of like dogfighting.
Yeah.
Right. We try to 1v1 kill each other as quickly as possible. Obviously simulated, right? We're in training. But yeah, just 1v1. A lot of G's, which is not fun for us tall people like Taze and I.
Yeah, we can talk more about that in a later episode, but how to G strain, but
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. It's out dogfighting is what I would call it to the lay person, but
yep.
Yeah, sweet, dude. For life for me, Easy's wedding coming up. It's not too late.
Buddy.
It's not too late, brother. Just kidding. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure
it is too late. I've been dating for like 10 years.
Yeah. Sweet. And then I think we might be planning a Disney trip for Jen's birthday. So
nice.
Keep you updated on that. But with that, we will get into a special segment for this week, which we brought up last week. So if you participated in our first ever One More Game giveaway, we asked you guys to order from best to worst the top 10 games of the last 10 years that we presented last week. And today we would like to reveal who that winner is. So, without further ado, drum roll. It was a very close contest. We had a lot of submissions, and at the end we just kind of chose the person that had the best name. So for the first ever giveaway winner for One More Game podcast, we have Bruno. So Bruno was actually only off on about 3 of the games on like the slots that we have them in. But overall, I'll just read off our order real quick. So Witcher 3, Heroes of the Storm, Super Mario Odyssey, Destiny 2, Overwatch, God of War, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Warzone, Elden Ring, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Congratulations, man. Go ahead and reach out to us via email, and we will get in contact with you on Steam and send you over your $50 Steam gift card, and buy a game, tell us how you like that game, and maybe we'll review it on a future episode. But overall, dude, nice job, nice work. You definitely have been listening to our episodes based on how you rank the games, and glad to see that you had a good time with that. So I think he said that Witcher 3 was his favorite of all those. Yeah, Witcher 3. So definitely yours as well. And I have a lot of hours in it as well, so that's why we had it so high. Anything to say, Swift?
No, it's fun to, and hopefully we can continue to give back to our listeners. It's been a good time having some submissions. Like Tay said, a lot of people were very close. Just had a couple off, or off by 1 or 2. But yeah, overall, it was cool.
Beetleborgs, easy. You and him were in the top running, and the only reason you lost is because you had Heroes of the Storm way down low, which makes 0 sense to me because it's the only game you're playing these days.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. All right. If you guys like that type of content, you want to see more contests like that, we'd love to interact with you guys in that way. And you can reach us on OMG_podcastGG on Twitter and Instagram. Let us know what kind of other contests you'd be interested in, and we will make that happen. All right, Swift. We have an email this week. You want to read that one?
Yeah, so the email comes from Namtuo, who's typically in our Twitch chat, but no, that he's going to listen. Question for the week. And chat, please, Easy, Nana16, Metal Former, whoever is in the chat, please help us participate in this question. But the question is, what is worse, a multiplayer game with a forced story mode, or a story game with a forced multiplayer? What, first initial impressions, Days? What do you think?
I'm trying to think of examples of both, but my initial gut reaction is, oh man, I actually think that story games that have a multiplayer mode sometimes can actually be pretty good, but I tend to find that a game that is built pretty much only on multiplayer, and then they try to quickly throw in a story, is always bad. Like there's never a one-off home run in that department. I'm trying to think. Like Overwatch is awkward in that situation because it's multiplayer, right? There's no other way to play it. But there's this, like, they make cinematics and they want you to feel like there's this little universe, but they never actually tell you like the full story. So you kind of fill in a lot of the blanks, like how the characters know each other. And there's a bunch of fan fiction out there. And I'm trying to think of other examples. Can you think of anything else?
No, dude. I am literally racking my brain. And again, chat, if you can think of anything that we're missing. I don't know of anything that. I mean, Overwatch, I guess, is a good example of what you're saying. Like multiplayer game, not necessarily a forced story mode, but there are a lot of, like you said, cinematics as far as trying to introduce you to this story that you're just like, what?
Yeah. Like,
Um,
what's happening? I like the cinematics because they look good, but I have no idea what's going on.
yeah. There's some baby in a stroller and a monkey drops down, like rolling away, and a monkey drops down in the street, and then, who knows what's happening.
Tracer says, "Cheers, love, the cavalry's here."
Yeah. So I don't know that I know of any specific ones. I think a story game with forced multiplayer, there's probably there's way better examples of that.
Yeah.
As far as kind of the like most MMOs, honestly.
Yeah, agreed.
Where it starts out with it's telling this arc of a story, and then you can either opt in or opt out depending on the game, whatever it is. But then all of a sudden it's PvP, and you're playing other people, and you're like, I didn't volunteer for this. I'm here for the story.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 14, like the PvP was pretty bad, and they just kind of threw it in there. Some people like it, but there's a lot of people who say that Destiny feels that way. Like it's mostly a co-op. It is a story-driven co-op game. It is multiplayer, but it's more of like cooperative. And then the PvP feels very like forced.
Yeah.
I think the problem that you run into sometimes with games that try to do both is balancing, right? Like Destiny's a perfect example. One gun will be really good for like raiding or whatever, or just like PvE, and then that gun will have to be nerfed because it's way too good in PvP. So then it sucks now. Or there's certain guns that are not viable because if they made them stronger, they would dominate in PvP. So there's a lot of stuff that happens like that. If you read like the updates in PvP, they're constantly having to like change stats on weapons based on the fact that it has to work both ways, so to speak.
Yeah.
But trying to think of another example.
I don't know. I can't really think of a multiplayer game with a forced story mode.
Yeah. I mean, Call of Duty at heart is a multiplayer game, but they've always had stories too, and they work fine for the most part.
Yeah, and I would say it's not really forced because you don't have to play the campaign.
Oh yeah, true.
Right.
You don't even have to buy it half the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting question. I've never really contemplated that, but yeah, it definitely makes sense. There's an example of a like role playing style game that had PvP in it. I can't remember. I'll think of it, but cool. If you got any thoughts on that, listeners, go ahead and leave us a little tweet at OMG_podcastGG, and we'll mention that on the next episode. But great question. Love the emails, guys. You guys were killing it this week based on the contest and the questions, but keep them rolling in. We really appreciate the support, and we'd love to bring you more interactive content like that. 4 emails, didn't mention it before, but OMGpodcastGG@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts, and we'll send you ours every week.
Whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm. Cool, dude. Anything else to say for that?
Nope.
All right. Well, then let's move on to our major topic for the week, social gaming. All right, we're going to make this relatively quick just so we can you guys can live your lives. But basically, we just wanted to talk about the idea of video gaming as like a social thing rather than, locking yourself in your room for 7 days to beat Elden Ring like some of our friends have. But cool. So what do you remember as a kid growing up playing socially?
When we were growing up, it was the start of this so-called, dynasty as far as video games. So
Yeah.
there was no online, right? I
Oh
mean, it
no.
was all
Back in my day.
console. Yeah, back in my day, I walked uphill both ways to school and in the snow and all the things. And I had to blow out my cartridges and plug them into my N64,
Yeah.
Um, so there was obviously no online. Actually, I should not say that. Because there was online, and it was called Age of Empires. And if you didn't have two phone lines like we did, or like we did not, then I would spend 7 hours playing Age of Empires 2. And my mom's like, I was expecting a call. Oh, Chad, are you in there playing it again? Yep, sure was.
Yeah, but you'll be happy to know that I've just destroyed the Bicentennials.
That's right. So there was online, but you couldn't chat, voice. You could type and all that stuff. But bottom line, it started for me playing N64, um, Super Nintendo, all that stuff, right? And you would just take turns, right? You would sit there when your buddy played, and then after that game, if you were playing a sports game, or after that life, whatever it happened to be, then you would take over the controller and get in there, and you just had to, swap back and forth basically.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was like, and then you'd get into little scuffles because, like, oh no, that didn't count or whatever. Like,
That's it. Yeah, exactly. No, that was BS.
like
I get another one.
Yeah. If you have a younger sibling, you definitely know the pains of "it's my turn" kind of arguments. But
Yeah.
cool. Well, it's kind of funny because we always forget about this age, but if you think about it, video games kind of started as a social thing in arcades. Like before home consoles, when you went to play video games, you were with tons of people gaming. So,
That is 100% true, and I completely scoff that.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Metal
yeah,
Former.
apologies. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Metal Former is a champion of the old centipede ball, and yeah, he can tell you stories about They had like little arcade gangs that would basically go in there and take over one machine, and they learned how to
Take over the best games.
Yeah, they learned how to cheat the game so they could only spend one quarter and slide it in and out and all kinds of wackiness. Cool. Organized crime, gaming. There you go.
By children.
Yeah. Then we kind of got into a little more of a different kind of social. I like what you brought up a couple episodes ago, where it was like some people had this console, and you knew which friends had Super Nintendo, and then you knew another friend had Sega, so you'd be like over there. Oh, I want to play these games, and then they'd come over to your house to play whatever. And I was hanging out with a buddy this last week, and he was like, dude, you remember when you had buddies who were gamers in elementary school, and you were like, all right, man, I just beat Ninja Turtles, and you want to borrow it? And you're like, yeah, bring it to school on Friday, don't forget. And then you bring the actual cartridge.
Yeah.
And then your teacher would snag that up and be like, you can have this after class. No. Sweet. Well, yeah, there's an old school take on the social construct of gaming, at least in the early days, but then it kind of moved into a little more like isolated gaming, right? Like you had a lot of single player games that came out in the early eras, but you just took turns. And then it all changed with couch co-op and LAN parties. What game do you think I'm referring to when I talk about LAN parties?
Halo.
Oh yeah. See?
Oh yeah.
You can tell. You can talk to anyone. They're like, all right, tell me about your best LAN party. Metal Former says Asteroids was a permanent game playing experience on OneCoin when you got good enough. Yeah, so you basically mastered that game, and you could throw in a quarter and play it for 17 hours.
Yeah. Till the arcade closed and you were kicked out.
And the guy realized that he lost a bunch of money because you weren't actually spending the money that he thought you were.
Right.
You're not allowed back in here, kid. Cool. Yeah, man. I mean, I have pictures, on on disposable cameras developed at the 1 hour photo of me and my bros in high school with Xbox consoles linked up in my room with like multiple TVs that are the size of freaking dresser drawers. Like,
Oh yeah.
what a time to be alive.
Yeah, dude, it was so fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
Beetleborgs in the chat. Well, easy Halo LAN parties were some of my favorite gaming memories, of course, because it was like the start of gaming with the boys.
Yeah, it really was.
You know, like
you go,
you guys,
you
could
go
all
down to
just
the grocery
link
store.
up.
You buy 17 packs of six packs of soda.
A Surge.
Get you some Jack in the Box, and then you just rage.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah, miss those days, man.
Yeah,
but that's where it all kind of started to kind of move in this direction that we're in nowadays. And then once again, Xbox and Halo kind of changed the game a little bit with communications. So Xbox Live, when that came out, do you remember like rushing home from school and grabbing your controller, throwing your nasty headset on, and being like, "Yo, you on?"
Yeah, of course. It's kind of like me now when I'm trying to rush home from work to game with you guys. Just
Yeah.
a little different.
Yeah, the gear is a little better, but same concept.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, God, I just can't think. It's hard for me to fathom like how many hours I spent on Xbox. You know what blows my mind about Xbox Live back then?
What's that?
Maybe my mind is different. Like it doesn't quite remember how janky it was, but to me, it seems like the user interface and like the way that you interacted with people back then on Xbox Live is way better than some of the stuff that comes out nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably true. Because now the technology's gotten better, but I feel like part of, we've talked about this previously as far as the people sending things out kind of half-cocked. Like they don't necessarily figure out the voice chat system, in game, depending on the game. Who knows? But dude, that is, I think, accurate.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just got accosted by two dogs.
Oh. Yeah, they heard you talking about social gaming, and they were like, "Oh, I want in."
Yeah.
I got a cat right here begging for food, so I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Cool, dude. All right, and then we got into PC gaming, right? And that's when things got a little weird and janky. So I'm gonna bring up this and see if you remember how this worked. But remember when you wanted to raid in WoW, and there was no like easy way to talk to each other, and there was this thing. There was these programs called TeamSpeak or Ventrilo.
Oh yeah.
And you had to like get their IP addresses and their server names and all kinds of wacky stuff. And then they'd have to like, it was kind of like a really janky version of Discord.
I think it was like the start of Discord.
Yeah.
It was the origination of exactly what we use every day now. Discord. What's the other one that's for work? Spark or
Slack.
Slack. Yeah, that's exactly like Discord.
Yeah, agreed. Well, cool. Yeah, there we go. I fixed your video. You were wigging out. Yeah, I remember TeamSpeak and Ventrilo. Like, it was like step one of proving that you were ready to raid. Was like if you could make it into the stupid Ventrilo server without screwing it up. With like the right name and everything.
And if you weren't in there, then you weren't allowed in the raid. And there was always like a host who was a guild member, higher ranking, because he shelled out $25 a month to like, it wasn't free back in the day.
He had to pay for the server or whatever, however
that
worked.
You had to pay for this server, right, that people could then join. And yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I'm very stoked that we've come a long way since then. I do also remember a time where we would get up on Skype with the raid because that was like the new hotness
Yep.
because you could have video. And then you finally got to see what like your your WoW raid team looked like IRL, and it was
Yeah. And you were a little concerned.
yeah. Dude, you got to get outside. Nice. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Sweet. Let's see what happened. The next step, kind of. What are you thinking? Like Blizzard chat?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when Blizzard chat came about, but probably Blizzard chat. Discord was probably about the same time.
Yeah. Xbox Live, obviously, they iterated and made their stuff better and easier, but
Yeah.
So then you ran into this new age in gaming where cross play and cross platform caused a whole new issue, and it kind of derives the need for Discord. Like I really wish Discord worked on Xbox and PlayStation somehow.
Yeah, that would make our lives way better.
Yeah.
Also, Easy in the chat said, "Do you ever use Xbox Connect?" I never did. He said free multiplayer client before Xbox Live to trick your Xbox into thinking it was on a LAN. Do you ever use that?
Oh, weird. No, I don't remember that. Oh yeah. That's how you had to play. You could play Halo, the original, that way, and it just thought it was on a LAN, and you could like link up if you had. I can't remember exactly how it worked, but yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I never did, but
dude, speaking now that I'm remembering LAN parties, I do remember this was cool at the Air Force Academy. Say what you will about it, but it probably works the same way in other universities. But when you had your Xbox on the like university network, you could just randomly find people playing Halo and just join them. Like hop in there and be like, all right, 1v1 me on midship, homie.
oh really?
Yeah, and you'd be like, and then people started finding out about each other, like who was good in each squadron. And then like you'd start like moving up the ranks in which games you could join. And it got real like elitist, but you know.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. And nerdy.
Yeah.
Which is good. Cool.
That's
now we're on Discord, and all things are molto bene, except sometimes you try to play a game that supposedly has in-game chat with cross-platform, and it don't work. Like how I'm trying to talk to the people on Destiny on Xbox and PlayStation, and it don't work. No worky.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah, some of those issues are so strange. So I don't know if I told you this, but I told someone else. But I signed into my Titan on.
You told me, yeah.
And I hear everyone just fine. So it's literally only on my Hunter that I cannot hear anyone, which makes zero sense.
Yeah, no sense at all.
It's the same settings. I don't know.
Yeah. I will tell you now, like since we're talking about Discord and in-game chat. So Shannon and I went to dinner this evening, and she was saying she saw your text about social gaming and what we were going to kind of talk about, and she was like, well, I think it's really cool because from her perspective, she's not a gamer. She allows me to come up here for a few hours every day and game, but from her perspective, she said it's really cool because especially for us who have moved around. Obviously, we were stationed in Korea together. We were stationed in South Carolina together. So we go back quite a ways. But it's cool from her perspective to see me, kind of continue to move around and yet keep the same relationships, right?
Yeah.
And from what she said, she's like, initially when she thought of me gaming, it was just me up here in my room alone.
Yeah.
Spending hours, locked up here talking to nobody. But she has very quickly realized that it is most certainly a social thing, right? Despite
Oh
not
yeah.
being face to face, it is, we're hanging out just in a different setting, you know?
Right. It is cool. I tell Jen all the time, like, if it wasn't for the social aspect of it, I would be gaming a lot less. So thanks, guys.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I talked about that last week, as far as Destiny, right? Destiny is a great game and I love it, but it's
Yeah.
way less fun when the boys aren't on, and that's why we've been playing so much Fortnite recently, because we have, a few of us that log on constantly and are just like, anybody up for Fortnite or Fork Knife?
Fork
Uh,
knife.
and so it's
Yeah.
very cool to be able to have that social aspect because of the apps and things and in-game chat.
Yeah. Discord has really been a game changer, right? Because now, not only, well, we lost you. 1 second. Not only do you have like this in-game chat, right, or whatever games you're playing, but now you got this constantly running like social conversation with your homies, and you got all kinds of different servers, and you can have different friend groups, and it's just really cool that you can build these little communities and like you said, keep in touch with, like, to me, like, we play so much together, and this podcast helps obviously, but like it doesn't really feel like we're not, like, we don't see each other every day. It's kind of weird, but yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, as far, we could be next door neighbors and talk less.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't talk to my neighbor, but I talk to you guys every day. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool and really neat, especially being in the military, being all over the world. Like, we can play with our friends who are stationed in Japan, like, no problem. We play with Jimmy
Yeah.
every once in a while when the timing lines up and he's in Korea.
Yeah.
So pretty neat, and just a whole new landscape when it comes to socializing. So to kind of piggyback on that and talk about where we're kind of going, I know you don't have a whole lot of experience with this, but VR is introducing a whole new element of this into not just gaming, but like everyday life. So I don't know how much you've looked at this stuff, but like you and I could, if we both had Oculus Quest, we could meet in this little, like, wherever we want, really. Fake living room, fake movie theater, top of Mount Everest, and we could watch a movie at the same time, and then look over at each other's little avatars and be like, "Oh, that was weird," and we'd be like chatting with each other at the same time. So it's like
Yeah.
we're getting into a realm. I don't know whether you like it or not, but at some point we're all going to be sitting around, BS, and imagine a world where you're drinking with your homies, but you're not, because you're in separate parts of the world, and you each have a beer, but you got headsets strapped to your face, and you're talking about shooting the shit about the good old days. It's gonna be funky and cool if it works out right. But have you seen any of these type of experiences?
No, I was gonna say, watching a movie on Mount Everest with a beer in our hands sounds awfully romantic. So
Yeah,
I'm
well,
in.
I'll
Um,
bring the candles.
yeah. But if you haven't seen the newest rendition of, I don't know if it's a remake or if it's just based off the book, but Ready Player One, I think we're very quickly trending in that direction, where people are, you log into a game with your VR headset on and kind of exists there, and it's fun because it's not real life. Not to say real life isn't great, go outdoors, touch the grass every once in a while. Um, but I think it's obviously trending in that direction, as far as like, yep, that's where people are going to exist some
Yeah,
of the time, most of the time, hopefully not, but
I'll talk a little bit about an experience. Not, I won't get too into the details because we're gonna have a whole episode about virtual reality once we get Swift on board. But
yeah.
there's this game, I can't remember what it's called, but here's the gist of it. Have you read Ender's Game?
Yes.
Okay, you know the game that they play
Yep.
in that big, like, open area. Okay,
Yeah.
it's that in VR, right? You have a body, but instead of shooting each other, there's what essentially is a frisbee, that floats.
Okay.
And there's 2 goals on each end of this giant arena, and it's like a 6-on-6. Basically,
So
it's like ultimate
it's
frisbee, except there's no gravity, and
okay.
you're passing the frisbee to each other, and then like pushing. There's like obstacles and stuff in the way, and you push off of them and catch it and throw it. And you're trying to throw it through this little goal, and there's like somebody can be a goalie if they want, but
Yeah.
so not only is that cool, like on a gaming like experience level, but when you first start, before the round starts, you're in this little room before they let you into the arena, and everyone's sitting around like coming up with the strategy of what we're going to do. All right, you're going to run down the left wing, and I'll go get the frisbee or whatever, the disc, and I'll pass it to you off the wall, and you two go around and block these 2 guys. And it's like, what is happening? This is a like serious sporting event now. It's crazy, and it kind of changes your perspective on what social gaming can be. But
No, absolutely. Especially if there's people you don't know and you just join this lobby and people are probably talking over each other to come up with the best strategy.
Everyone's screaming.
Yeah, it just when you said that, it just reminds me of a VR like Quidditch.
Yeah, that's what
Harry Potter.
It kind of feels like that. They could probably make Quidditch on VR, and it would be really
cool. Yeah.
Another kind of thing that I was looking into was there's like an app where you can load up some board games. So you're telling me you can finally quit? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was laughing at. Easy was like, wait, I can play Quidditch?
You can finally win the championship with Gryffindor. Easy, your lifelong dream.
Now, Easy's more of a Hufflepuff guy.
Yeah, he's definitely Hufflepuffing.
Yeah.
Cool. There was another thing I looked into it's essentially board games that you play in a VR space with people, and they link up via the interwebs. And then you go, all right, let's play, I don't know, Monopoly or whatever. And users can, it's Lambency. Thank you for rating with your party of 3. Welcome to the chat, guys. We're just talking about VR social gatherings, but I was talking about this app where you can play video games, or board games with other homeboys around. But there's also like a Dungeons and Dragons version of it. It's Lambency Raid, first time chat, welcome, and hit that little follow button if you want to hook a brother up. And we're happy to have you here as we talk about video games.
Thank you.
So yeah, dude, someday you and I are going to be playing I don't know, Cards Against Humanity virtually.
Oh yeah. I'm down.
Yeah. I was playing. Oh, I got to tell you one more story. One more VR story, because it's funny. Thanks for following it, Slamity. Really appreciate it. That puts us at 35, Swift. Push it up.
Yeah.
So I'm playing table tennis, right? Ping pong. There's an app on there, and I'm playing with this guy, and we're kind of chatting. It matches you up, and you can opt out of the chat with them or not. But and I go to hit the ball, and it goes cross table, and I can see him kind of what I perceive as like diving for it, and then I hear this like, and his little like it shows you kind of like where his nugget is and where his hands are.
Yeah.
They fall, they like stop moving, and they just sit there for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And he never responded. So I killed a guy playing virtual ping pong.
Dude, that doesn't surprise me. I've seen so many. This is why I don't do it, because I've heard stories of people like doing stuff on the Oculus, and they think they're standing up, but they're bent over looking at the floor or jumping into walls or TVs. Like, it's just too much. You need a harness to anchor you into a certain spot, and that's it. Because otherwise, you're gonna just cause yourself injury or your home injury.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I've had a couple situations like that, but my buddy Will told me that he almost punched a hole in his TV playing Beat Saber. So be careful.
Careful out there.
All right, last thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to social gaming is Switch has kind of changed the game a little bit, brought it back to some of that co-op, playing on the same screen, same time kind of stuff. So I know you and I have had some really cool experiences where a few of us have Switches, right? And we just bring our Joy-Cons over, like hotel rooms or whatever, and we play Overcooked or whatever.
Yeah,
So what are your thoughts on the Switch, like being like the premier social gaming machine?
I love it. I mean, like we talked about earlier, it brings me back to being on the couch.
Yeah.
Game with the buddies from the neighborhood because that's all that was available. And so, you talk about Overcooked. We loved that game. We played it a lot when we were TDY. It always ends up in a shouting match because somebody's not dicing the lettuce or whatever. But
Well, really, it's easy. Just starts throwing cucumbers at you, and you're like, "What are you doing?"
yeah. But it's great because again, you put that thing in the dock, and then everyone gets a controller, and you can just sit there and game with the boys, bringing you right back.
Yeah, they've got some Switches just nailing it when it comes to that. Like, they really understand that feeling of like playing with your friends, like on the same couch, and they're just killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the Mario games like have some form of co-op that you can do, and I don't know, man. It's the Joy-Con thing, like the fact that you can just have 8 controllers if 4 of you have things Switches is really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
All right, man. Any other thoughts on social gaming that we haven't touched on?
No, we've come a long way,
Yeah.
right? From like just you and I's lifetime. So excited to see where we continue to go. Yeah, it's Lamancy, GoldenEye 007. Don't screen peek or
There's
and
this
you had the four all 4 screens on the same screen, so you could literally just look over to see where somebody was, but that was, frowned upon, to say the least.
There's a special place in hell for people who screen peek, especially in Mario Kart. Like, oh yeah, how'd you know I was throwing a red shell at you? What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Good conversation, man. I love where we're at with gaming and its social aspect. Like, if you're out there playing video games by yourself all the time, there's definitely like games that are fun to play alone and kind of get lost in the world, but you're missing out on a whole lot with not joining with others. And Discord, like I feel like I work for Discord because I'm constantly telling you how valuable of an asset it is, but you can find servers for anything and join with people to play any game you can imagine. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And like you said, if you want to get in there and spend time with the boys, download Discord. First, get a PC, right? If you don't have one already. Then download Discord. Super easy to connect with people if you don't have a group already. If you feel like, taking chill time, you want to decompress from a long day at work, an argument, some stress in your life, then play Unpacking and just sit there in silence and organize a room.
I'm for it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna.
I literally pulled it up after we talked about it. I pulled it up on Steam. It's $19.99. I think I'm gonna buy it because it just looks so therapeutic.
Click. Yeah. Sweet, dude. Yeah. And if you're looking for a squad to play with, go ahead and search Bonsai Gaming. We'd be happy to have you join the crew, and we get in there and have a good time. We don't take it too seriously, and unless your KD is too low, then you can't play with us. But
I think mine's the lowest, so
cool.
It'll be fine.
All right, dude. Great chat. Let's get into what we played this week. All right, chat. I know I said I would never play this game, but the time has come.
He did it.
I downloaded and played and bought the battle pass for Fortnite. All because of the stupid no build and I love it.
It's so good, right?
Yeah, it was. I find myself like wanting to play it all the time, which is bad. But
Oh, it's great.
think my initial thoughts. So I guess it helped that right when I started playing, it was like Star Wars stuff in there. So like I log in, drop with you guys, which I guess I didn't really know this at the beginning, but like we won our first 4 matches probably because they were all bots. But you know, this game's really easy. Um, but then like I go to play the next day and there's just like lightsabers and laser guns and you can get Luke's lightsaber and I'm like, this game is awesome. And then I get killed by Doctor Strange wielding a Rey's lightsaber. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I'm totally for it. I know you guys. I held out as long as I could. Swift got me, and while he may be impermeable to social what is it? Impervious to peer pressure. I am not.
Yeah.
So cool. So there you have it. I am a Fortnite proud Battle Pass owner, and yeah,
Love it.
You can watch me streaming at twitch.tv/theStroke and watch me sucking. But now at least I don't have to build and suck.
Yeah, the building, as soon as they introduced that no build mode, that's when I downloaded it. And oh man.
Yeah, it's fun.
If you've listened to any of the past 3 or so podcasts, like, you know, I'm all for it.
I'll tell you what they do better than all the other BRs is kind of like the meta collecting game that they got going on, where you like are trying to do different quests and you know visit different areas or blah blah blah. Like all the other BRs try to do that, but I just don't give a crap about it. And in Fortnite, I find myself being like, oh, let's log off these quests and do the dailies and the weeklies, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But that did give me the bug for other BRs. So I also played and updated and played Apex Legends for the first time in a while. And they've got this arena mode, I think it's called. I played with Buttered Toast. And it's basically 3-on-3 battle royale. And it's a lot of fun. Had a good time playing that. It's like
nice.
It's like a baby of CSGO because you could buy guns at the beginning. And I don't know, gunfight from
Valorant,
Call of Duty, Valorant a little bit, and then all the trappings of Apex Legends that makes it fun. So had a good time with that. Other than that, I played a little bit of Elden Ring. I don't know what it is about that game that I'm like scared to go fight the bosses. So I'm literally just grinding, like you said, trolls, trying to kill stuff to get more runes. I'm like, at what point do I put my big boy pants on and go after Margit? But you know, just taking it nice and easy.
Yep.
Appreciating the scenery. Oh,
what level are you now?
18.
Okay.
Elden Ring, maybe there's an example, or like the Souls-like games, the Souls games. A story game with a forced multiplayer.
Yeah. You think?
I don't know. It's not forced, but like it's in there and it's kind of janky, right? Like you have to use all these weird things to make it work and invade.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just seems compared to the rest of the game, it's very clunky in my opinion. But
yeah.
All right, and then the only other thing I played was Kirby with the little guy. Not much more to say about that. It's fun. You got a kid.
The naked little guy.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Anyways.
Cool.
What'd you get into?
So this week I honestly didn't play a ton of games. I played Fortnite. Finally got you in there. We need to get Easy in there. Easy.
Mm-hmm. I did play HOTS. I like.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I know every time we play HOTS, I try to convince Easy and Tyler to get on the Fortnite no build train. And they keep saying they don't want to do it, but I feel like Easy would love it. Just knowing him. Like
he,
he would
he
absolutely love the game.
he was pretty staunch against Destiny. I'm surprised he held out.
I know. So I played Fortnite. Like Tave said, it's been fun. That no build mode is fun. We won a game earlier, Joe and I, earlier this morning, because I had to wake up at like 5:30 to take my parents to the airport. So I spent my morning gaming. Other than that, I played not a ton, honestly. I don't think I actually played any other video games. It's
Nice.
been so coming off nights, right? We flew nights for 6 weeks, and then this week we were flying days, and then it was only a 3-day fly week because of graduation, and like we had a sports day on Thursday with the squadron and the AMU. So just been busy. So I really didn't play much else. I'm level 17 in Elden Ring. I love the game. I know I've said it over and over. I want to keep doing it. I just keep getting myself into these weird situations where I die over and over, and I'm just like, well, I'm gonna take a break, and then I don't go back to it for a few days. We have a buddy, Tonic, who was in our squadron at Shaw, and he messaged us and was like, "Hey, anybody need help with Elden Ring? I'm really loving the feel of the game. The game is a masterpiece, just like we've been preaching." And I was like, "What level are you?" And he said 200 something, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness!" Like,
He is on every time I'm on Discord, like right
yeah,
now. Elden Ring,
yeah,
playing Elden Ring.
playing Elden Ring. Yeah, I know. So obviously, and I actually, so I thought about bringing it up when you were talking about it. I was like, oh wait, I saw a guy. I don't know how I got the ad, probably because I was just on YouTube looking at gaming videos. But I saw a guy who was max level 713 or something,
Yikes!
and he was fighting bosses and basically one hitting them, like one shotting them with his little dual blades.
How? I don't understand that.
I don't know. I think the guy has probably played every second of every day since it came out, because I don't know how else you get to that level.
Yikes!
So yeah,
teach me your ways,
something to
buddy.
strive for, you know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So I don't know. But again, I'm gonna play Elden Ring. I'm gonna finish God of War.
Mm.
But just haven't gotten there yet.
Well, cool, man. Yeah, sometimes you get a light gaming week, and it's no big deal. You know, life has its way of sucking all the fun out of it. But
yeah, and then also my parents were in town from Thursday to today, so I didn't get much time to myself up here gaming. So
yeah, was your dad ever into any games?
No.
No.
You kidding me, dude? He was too busy promoting in the Air Force.
Yeah.
He didn't care about video games. He didn't have time for that.
He was shining his shoes.
Yeah, he was.
All right, man. Cool. Well, that's what we played this week, guys. And I did want to mention a lot of you guys reached out, just kind of give me some words of support after I talked about a little bit of, that PTSD stuff. And I just want to say thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. And it meant, it made me feel a lot better. And I'm feeling pretty good these days. So hopefully that continues on the up and up. And just want to thank you guys for the support in that realm. Cool, man. Anything else to say to viewers/listeners before we sign out?
Nope.
Cool, dude. Good episode. You can find us at OMG_podcastGG on Twitter and Insta. And you can reach out to us at OMGpodcastGG@gmail.com. Let us know how we're doing, things you like, things you hate, and things you want to hear on future episodes. And we'd be glad to make that happen for you. You can also find our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and at omgpodcast.podbean.com or anywhere else you find your podcasts. With that, we'll leave you with this thought. Just because you have to grow up doesn't mean you should stop playing games. Game on, gamers, and we'll see you next week for one more game. Swift, see ya.
See ya.